Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues on WGNS is proudly presented by our friends at Murfreesboro Medical Clinic on Big G TV and by Middle Tennessee Electric. They power the show here today. Middle Tennessee Electric has United Communications. That's their internet company, delivering 99.99% reliable fiber internet to homes and businesses. Find out more at mte.com/internet. Talking about Rutherford County Schools today. And the chair of the Rutherford County School Board is Claire Maxwell, and she joins us. And it's summertime. You don't have anything to do, right?
Oh, I know. I'm just I don't know what to do with myself. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I look forward to our Fridays when we get to talk about all things Rutherford County schools wise. And I'm excited today to talk about some things maybe we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
Because school's out, it's summer, and but there's some big things that are happening that we've started, and one of them is I don't know if everybody's aware of it, but we did start back in January with a meeting with the Rutherford Sports Council. About 7-8 years ago, a couple of coaches went up to me and said, "Are you aware they do this thing in Williamson County called the Wilco Awards?" And I said, "It's a really big thing. They walk the red carpet. The guys are in tuxes. They interview him a la like ESPN style, and the kids love it. The families love it, and it's a really big deal. We should do that here." And it got me thinking. I was like, we are really, really good at sports here too, and we really should try to elevate our programs. My boys all played sports, and they won some awards, but I really feel like we could take it up a notch or two. And so started together and cobbled together some a couple of guys that I thought would be really good on the sports the first sports council, and talked to my good friend Butch Vaughn, who former coach, loves athletics here in this, especially football in this area, and reached out to Tom Nolan, Greg Wyant, Brian Barrett with WGNS. He had to be here. And we decided that we needed to have a meeting to see what we could come together. And Chris Harris, our athletic director, he came to us, and he liked the idea as well. And we started bouncing around, how would this look like? And so we knew that we wanted to do it similarly to Williamson County, but we also knew that there was a Raider Awards that Coach Harris was telling us about. Mm-hmm. And so we said, why don't we kind of blend the two for this first one? And so we're going to have it. We just set the date May 24th at Tucker Theater. So we're excited next spring to have our first, they're not the Ruthie Awards. Ruthco Awards doesn't really flow off the tongue. We got to come up with some kind of name for it.
Well, we do call it Ruco Schools, so
Ruco
maybe it's
Schools Award.
Ruco.
Ruco
Sports Awards.
Yeah, Ruco. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Something like that.
But I'm excited, and it's going to take a lot of planning. But and it won't look like Williamson County Wilco Awards right out of the gate. It's going to be, but over time it may grow and evolve, and we may tweak it here and there. But I'm really excited to highlight these athletes and all the sports, and not just football in this county. And the kids need to feel special, because it is special to play sports and do activities in Rutherford County, because we do everything top notch.
Well, there has been a lot of planning and a lot more planning to do, but some of the things that we do know about this, and I don't want to let too much out of the bag, so you just give me the cutoff if I say something I shouldn't, but working with MTSU to have the location at
absolutely.
Tucker Theater.
That first one, yeah.
Yeah, so the first one will be there, which will be nice. I don't know that there has been a solid, here are the awards, but for instance, it's going to be over 20 awards, and you're talking about football, cross country, and the idea is to bring in the top 3 that are chosen by a committee and the coaches in the county for those sports.
Yes.
Bring in a top 3, and one of those people will be the winner for best male cross-country athlete.
Absolutely.
And then all the sports, fall, winter, spring.
Yep.
That's
Exactly.
That's kind of the
That's
overview.
kind of what the idea is, and we want them to have this kind of ESPN awards feeling to it. We're going to have them in black tie. I'm going to have them coming in up the staircase, and I would even like to reach out to the schools to pick some of the students to interview some of their peers.
Yeah.
And I just think that would be a really good thing for our students, athletes, and our students at their schools to get some real sports communication experience. So, yeah, I think it'll be a win-win.
It'll be kind of like Rutherford County Schools has a lot of career and technical education opportunities, and one of those is several of the schools have their own, television, radio kind of classes and departments, and so bring the best students from the different schools together.
Yep.
And have them do the live video, have them do
Absolutely.
some of that interviewing and things of that nature. That'll give the kids, the kids who are participating in the sports and who are the honorees, a chance to talk into a microphone, to answer some questions and all those
Exactly.
kinds of things. And so it really brings together a lot of kids and gives them an opportunity to do something pretty special.
We have so many talented people, young people, students in this, and not just our athletes,
Right.
but behind the camera. They really know what they're doing. I was floored at the professionalism at Stewart's Creek, at Riverdale, at some of these different schools, and they're ready for prime time. They're ready to go out there, and you're going to be floored compared to back in the 80s when I was going to school.
Yeah.
And that would have intimidated me, but they're ready. Some of them are radio ready. They are just, they're not going to take your job just yet, but I'm just excited to highlight this is truly going to be all Rutherford County sports awards banquet. So
it's going to be, and it's for high school. We have, for over 20 years, done an all sports trophy for middle school, and we had talked about, at least bringing that award presentation to this event. So
Yes.
there's a little bit of middle school into that, which will be just a great recognition for the top middle schools here in the county as well, that are awarded, and just a great place to be able to present all of these awards. I mean, you're talking about for each kid, they're probably going to have a couple of parents with them or whatnot, and then for those who can't be in attendance, there will be some restriction on the number of people, because we'd be talking thousands and not having a place to do it.
Yeah, it's a bigger theater than we have on campus at our schools,
Yeah.
but yeah, we are going to have to limit it to probably 2 or 3 adults.
But that's where having the really cool coverage, on streaming, and maybe we'll even do it live on the radio too.
Would
and
love
however
to
that
live stream
happens,
it. Yeah, that would be phenomenal.
and have those opportunities for that. So it's a really cool opportunity. It will be May the 24th. That is the Monday before Spring Fling starts on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And by the way, I did have a conversation about this last night. I was telling you about some of that. And this person thinks that is the perfect day to have it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, wonderful, because we kind of was our fallback position.
was.
That was not where we wanted to be,
Yeah.
because we were wanting to get done with most of Spring Fling and then have
Yeah.
it. But you know what? I think it will end up being, I think he's right. I think it'll end up being the perfect date to have it. And hopefully there's not a lot going on a Monday. So,
Well, Spring Fling doesn't start until Tuesday. And, the more we talked about it, it was TSSAA is probably not going to move to playing on that Monday, because some teams don't finish their sectionals until Saturday or even Sunday.
Yeah.
Eagleville girls played their softball sectional game on Sunday and then turned around to play on Tuesday. So you've got to give a day for schools who win to make plans and hotel reservations and that kind of thing. So the thought was that may be just the perfect day for that. So That's one of the things that's going on with sports in Rutherford County with our high school sports, and coaches know about it, principals know about it.
They are super excited.
Well, that's
this
good.
is something that it is. When they heard about it, they were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yep, this is happening." So, and like I said, have some give us some grace. There's a learning curve with this first one, but hopefully, I think we can pull this off, and I think it can be even bigger and better going forward. So I'm excited about that.
So that's something that's coming up in the new sports year, and next Wednesday will be day one of the, I guess, the third ever Rutherford County Athletic Director.
Yes. Mr. Greg Wyant takes the reins, and with his assistant athletic director, Jenna Jones, who's coming over from Webb. And everyone knows Greg Wyant. He's had stints at Riverdale, at Siegel, and he may have been other places that I'm not even aware of.
He was at Smyrna.
He was at Smyrna, okay.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So, and very knowledgeable, and so I think he's going to do a good job. And the athletic director for the county job has kind of been elevated to the point that because of all the changes we've had with TSSAA and the fact that you can have NIL, the fact that you can have the one-time transfer rule, there's just a lot going on, and we need someone to help our schools because, there's a lot that misinterpreted by the rule, and a lot of the families don't understand. We've had people call and say they live in one area and they want to go to this other school and they want to transfer. Well, yes, you can transfer, but you have to move into that zone. You can't live where you're living and go to that school without, and they don't understand that. You do have to move, and so there's a lot with that.
So the very first, this shows the growth that we've had, and I'm going to butcher the years, so this is an estimate, but 10 years ago, or however long ago it was, the first county athletic director was a part-time position, and Tim Tackett, when he had that position, he was part-time with that and also had charter schools on his plate.
Oh, gosh, I can't even imagine. That was way ahead of my time.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Both of those areas have exploded, and there's no way that one individual could take care of that. In fact, we don't think that one individual can do that now. This is why we have an assistant coming on too.
And that's the growth that we had from a part-time county athletic director to a full-time county AD in Chris Harris, who's had that job, I think, 5 years or so. And so he's been full-time, and that's been his focus as the county AD. And now we grow to where there's an athletic director and an assistant athletic director. And I know Brad Rowling has been assistant AD as well with sports management, but I'm talking about to help on the administrative side.
And I don't think Brad's going anywhere either. So.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot, and we've got more high schools, and it's just, we've had some issues in the past that have happened, and we're going to have issues. That's just the way it is. But to minimize those issues and make sure that our schools are being compliant, because you don't want 4 or 5 of your schools on probation. We want to make sure that we're doing things the right way. So that's why the oversight, we just felt like we needed extra eyes and more oversight to help these schools to say, this is legal, this is not legal, and this is what you need to do to be in compliance.
Well, in the conversation that I was having yesterday about some of this stuff, if my view has always been, yes, the radio portion is important, but why do you do it? And if you do it for yourself or to make a name for yourself, or it's about you and what job you're doing as in play-by-play, for instance, or in your coverage, it's not about the kids. It has to be about the kids and the athletes, and that's why that's been our motto here.
Yeah.
And the county athletic director is going to look for ways to elevate programs, to elevate kids, to elevate the county. The Sports Council and Sports Awards is one way. We're going to do a fall media day. That happened after the winter sports basketball media day that went over and went well. And so these are opportunities, but looking for opportunities to elevate the kids' experience in high school sports.
Yeah.
And to promote them and the great athletes that we have. And it's just like promoting kids in a band concert or the kids who are in theater. I mean, I guess I've gotten on a soapbox here,
No,
but that's
absolutely.
what we do, why we do what we do.
And that's why you and I started talking about this 2 years ago.
Yeah, we really did.
Yeah, this is what this was about. It was elevating our students and letting them feel even more special, because our county has grown by leaps and bounds. Our sports is there. I mean, every school has got something good going on athletically at their schools. And I just want to elevate that. And I thought that finally the Wilco Awards in Williamson County was the right platform for us to kind of take and make our own, do it our own way. We're not going to do it all their way, and elevate these students. We've always had awards. I mean, like I said, my son won the offensive lineman of the year, and it was, we had a banquet, and but it was very casual, and it was very, I was like, we should do this a little bit, more, I don't know, I hate to use the term fancy, but that's the term I'm thinking.
Yeah.
We should make this a bigger deal.
Well, just let's elevate the experience.
Elevate the experience. Let the kids feel even more special, and families as well, because it's a sacrifice. You've been out to the ball fields.
Yep.
By the time the kid gets to be a senior in high school, how many sports opportunities have that kid had that you participate right there along with them? So let the family celebrate. And so I think it's going to be a wonderful experience. And like I said, I think we can encompass more than just those student athletes. We can take other students from all of our high schools, can help elevate their experience as well. And I think it's a win-win for the county.
Even to the point of maybe getting culinary involved to have some hors d'oeuvres, things like that.
Absolutely.
You know
like
what I
said,
mean?
Every school and all of our students can participate in some way, I believe, with this one. And I think that's a way, I don't think Williamson County even does it that way. So I'm thinking this could be even a better spin on it than them.
Oh, I know it will
and
be.
we like to do things better than Williamson County.
That's true. That's true. Well, and we've got just a couple of minutes. Our time has just flown by. But another thing to help elevate the experience for kids, and in the classroom and things of that nature, technology and the fast changes in that and keeping up with that, and tax dollars, and they're not always there to pay for all of these upgrades, all of these kinds of things. You have kind of taken what Murfreesboro City Schools does with their foundation, created for the first time a Rutherford County Schools foundation that's going to be doing a similar type of work.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Yes,
you're going to take a different
template.
spin on that,
Yes.
but and so the first year is kind of under your belt, getting organized, 501c3, all of that. But we're going to start seeing some of the work from that.
Yes, we're going to
group.
be able to finally give out some grants here pretty soon, we think. It's been a labor of love. Sheila Bratton and myself, and even Francis and Butch Vaughn have helped as well. But we were able to take some longtime educators and community members and start the first ever Rutherford County Schools Foundation, very similar to the City Schools Foundation. But we're going to be able to give grants similar to where the old BEP did, from anywhere from $250 to $2,500 is the limit now, to individual classrooms and teachers who file for these grants. And it's going to be all blind. It's going to be anonymous. We're not going to know who the teacher is. We're not going to know what the school is. We're not going to know if it's an elementary school, a middle school, or a high school. But they're going to be able to put in for a grant for a program, something for their classroom to help their students. And we're going to be able to help them out there. And I'm very, very excited about that. Wayne Blair was our first chairperson, and Sheila Bratton was his vice chair, and we're fixing to, in the next month, have a switch, and Wayne will not be the chair anymore, and it will be Sheila Bratton. And Sheila's going to do a wonderful job, long educator. And they put together a committee of former teachers who are going to grade the rubric, very similar. We're using the same template they did for the BEP. So all the parts were there. We just had to put it together.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited.
And the fundraising is a big part of that.
And the fundraising aspect.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. We've got some really good people who know how to fundraise, and we've got some, I hate to say, but I'd like to use the term big fish. We got some big fish
Nice.
on the line that are going to help us and get this party started, as I would say. And so I'm really excited to be part of this as well. And so yeah, good things are happening for Rutherford County Schools.
A lot of good stuff going on with that. Well, Claire, thanks for stopping in.
Thank you.
Enjoy our opportunities to talk. And, Dr. Sullivan, he's on monthly, or someone from the school system. We do a lot of talk about schools here, but I always thought, our school board has a voice, and they're so important to how schools operate. And I guess I don't know how long ago it was or so, and I don't even remember who the chair was at the time, but I said, would you like an opportunity to come on and talk? And it's been nothing but great to hear from the school board each month. And I know you as the chair, you kind of schedule folks to come in, and if there are schedule changes, you've been willing to step up and come in. But I just want you to know we appreciate having the opportunity to talk with our school board.
Well, we appreciate you inviting us to come and speak, because there is a lot going on in Rutherford County, and we like to get our message out, and we like to celebrate the good things that are happening that maybe people don't know about. If you don't have kids in the school, you aren't paying attention as much as you are, and we appreciate you allowing us to have a voice.
I'm glad to do it. Well, Claire Maxwell has been our guest here this morning on the show, and thanks to her for coming in today. And thank you for being a part of the program. If you missed any part of it, you can check the podcast. It'll be up shortly at WGNSradio.com.